Um, Welcome back to another episode of my stories. I believe today is August 25th. Can't even keep up with the dates. Today is August 25th. Yep. And it can get better than this though. But we're grateful this is alive. My name is Lumi for those that are new to my channel. And this channel is just here to speak on behalf of those that were silenced. Speak on behalf of those that didn't have a voice. And speak on behalf of those that had things to say but didn't have the opportunity to say it. Today is like the first episode of season 2, and I know I'm always saying this, but it's still intense. Still intense. Very, very intense. The intrusion, the anxiety, the pain, the headaches, the solar winds, solar storms. We're feeling it for sure. But today I really want to talk about balance. And I'm seeing how in this story of mine, there's been like if the right word is fluctuation, moving from one aspect of the pendulum to the other. You go to joy and then you swing back to sorrow, you swing back to happiness, you swing back to depression, you swing back to heightened anxiety, you swing back to excitement and bliss, and then you're unable to keep stable or be stable, which is what the body isn't yet accustomed to due to the tune out of the noise. So the nervous system is wired to like a constant, um, constant tuning out of itself rather than tuning in, expecting something to come. So it's like the warrior archetype is always on alert. And the simple prayer that I always pray is nothing else but rest and safety. Because as the Kundalini energy is moving, this is not only this atmosphere that is being involved, is the whole entire universe that this thing is experienced, because you are reflecting, you have the source of creation inside of you. And it's very funny how everything, even the natural order of things is always a balance. The sun comes out, stays up for about, depending on the season, stays up to how long? About 18 hours or 12 hours a day, or more or less. And then you have the moon come up, takes his own place, plays his own role. So there's a balance of order, and this balance is also something that is attained for within. There's so much noise, there's so much distraction, but at the same time there's also that opportunity for peace there. So all of this exists simultaneously. So the choice to always choose what one wants to resonate with and what level of platform wants to function from. And that's why, for me, my warrior has been on for quite a while now. Always fighting the thoughts, fighting the emotions, fighting the projections constantly, rather than just dying to the process and allowing things to watch and letting with the knowledge that nothing can change the inside, because the inside is forever a permanent bliss. So in the midst of those, you can see there are times that I'll detach and I'll be the observer of it all. I'll see me seeing all of this and I'm like, and you still see the body reacting, panicking, heart palpitations, and then you're looking at the body like, what's going on with you? And I remember someone asked a question on Quora saying, what's the difference between compassion and, I can't remember the compassion and kindness or something like that. And so for me, this period is like the need for compassion for self, to see what is going on within the body that you cannot control it. You just continue to trust the divine's plan and give into it. And you see so many people talking about this, but hardly do you hear much is being addressed about the bodily sensations. So we have an open system, we're not, should I say the word, easily we absorb information. Easily. Absorbing all this information, you can't and the fastest way is not to be able to differ, picking which is what, just continue to flow with the process, because this is the will of God. And so that balance, which is what today's episode is about, is to be balancing both elements, balancing air, balancing land, balancing water, and balancing fire, so that the system becomes vibrant. And then one is able to move through his or her challenges that she or he has on a day-to-day basis. Because when there's lack of balance in the system, then this can cause some form of agitation to show up, either as migraines, headaches, anxiety, body pains, inflammation, and so on and so forth. And all of this just brings some form of destabilization to the system. So the system is very important for one to understand the mechanism and listen to the body and be able to cater to the body you can call it self-love, providing the necessary nutrients to nurture the body into balance. And then if you've done your own part, whatever that is left off, you leave it to the divine to let his will play out. Like today now, I didn't have any intention of shooting this video today. I simply came here as well, as always, to ground, to remember, to remind myself the peace that is about. Because there's also the loud noise in the society, based on everybody afraid of one thing or the other, whether it's Russia, China, Russia, America, this, that, or immigration, everything, different aspects of where to give your power to and tune into that frantic state. So here, when you come to nature and you're just here, there's nothing like that. That's why I always call it my office. There's nothing like that. Everything just peace, silence, stillness, and then you're just watching the wind blow, and you're watching the water flow, and this begins to remind the body what it's all about. So as I'm here now, I'm basically connected to all the elements, feet on the ground, water in front of me, the wind is blowing, heat from the sun. That's why I said it can get better than this. And for me, one of the things that I'm still exploring is the dark night of the soul. No one knows how long. As they say, in the Bible they say you don't know how long. Nobody knows when God is coming. Nobody knows the second coming. So that plays into the dark night of the soul of you don't know when that light is gonna come fully. You just have to stay in that process and trust and continue to let the warrior in some form of a peaceful way rather than fighting or flight or fighting mode. Just rest. Continue to rest. Rest in each second. Rest in each moment. Rest. Rest. And some of the things again that pull me out, because I've seen it and I say that wisdom is a distraction of peace. Because when you are seeking something, it could be that you are choosing to run away from your peace to learn something else outside of you. And what are you going to use that for? What is the essence of that knowledge that you're trying to acquire? For the past 2 weeks now, it has been, the Schumann resonance has been non-stop. The nervous system is and it's just the grace of God that continues to help the body move through all of this, because if not for God, there's no way I'll still be here. It's the grace of God that continues to pave the way. And the prayer to continue to get the strength and the courage to chase these visions and these projects that I talked about in season 1, that I want to bring into fruition, in this lifetime, is what I hold on to. So it's like you're dreaming, because we Pisceans, we are like dreamers that bring dreams into reality. We spend most of our times creating and dreaming, and then can be challenging to bring those dreams into manifestation, into this 3D form. So it is needed, important for one to be grounded, centered, to be able to bring those dreams into actualization. And that's where the balance comes in, the balance between the etheric and the physical self, to be able to pull in the information, pull in the right channels, and then being present enough to receive it and also execute the steps that one is pulling from. So, but for me now, it's like I have 1 feet here and 1 feet there. So there's like the dance between the information that is being pulled and the strength to be here enough to receive it and execute it. So by the time those information come in, with all the noise that is going on, my nervous system is already like, and then there's little time for execution. So one is already exhausted by one's dream. And another thing I noticed with my own body, when the emotions and the thoughts have become so intense and excessive, I try to go for walks. And when I'm walking, I can see how I have to really walk slowly to maintain my pace, because of the way the exoskeletal system is being moved around with the emotions in the body. And And I call it, what I call it is I call it divine drunkenness. You know when you are drunk on alcohol, for anybody that has never been drunk before, you're staggering around that you can barely catch your foot, or you gotta walk slowly and then you're staggering, you know, and if you don't walk slowly, you miss a step and you might fall down and hit your head. That's exactly how it feels. That's why I call it divine. I call it divine drunkenness. That's why I call it divine drug, because it's almost like that. It's like I have to walk. I have to be fully concentrated on my step that I take to maintain my balance. So yeah, we're still here. There's still the process that is going on, the evolution of the planet, and then there's still the awaiting of the incoming angels, the newborns, the new bright-minded in children that they are coming into the planet now to help us continue to evolve and make this planet a heaven for all of us that exist here. And it's also beautiful to see how the timeline is changing. So you're seeing these people that have led this. They've led us to one point, and a lot of them are departing now, based on where they led us up to. And we need to see these things as a it's like a breakthrough, right? So you have the likes of what's the name? Hulk Hogan now, the late Hulk Hogan, may so rest in peace. For anybody that wants to be a wrestler and entertainer, Hulk Hogan has led them to some extent to inspire them, like people like The Rock, and we have the Pope, and we have this other man in Morocco that was a very strong, hardcore Sufi that just passed away, and the Pope. You know, we have all these layers of age timeline that are all departing simply because the era that is coming now, the new generation, the evolution of these new guys that are coming with a different mindset on how to balance the world. And also, if you look at all the political leaders that we have now, they are all in the same age bracket. And so the next age bracket be after them. If you pay attention to see, you will see that they are in their mid 40s, early 50s. There's a very huge gap. Unlike before, we have 70s and we have the 60s waiting to get in. We have the 50s waiting to get in. And this is the first time that, if you really observe it, there's a very huge gap between the 70s and the 40s. So it's like those 60s and those are all out of that picture. So in the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to have political leaders in the world, which someone like the Canadian guy, Justin, I can't remember, Trudeau or whatever his name is. Those guys are now the ones leading the path that the youth can change the way we think. The youth can lead us politically to a safe place for everyone. Make decisions that everyone feels they are being seen. Make decisions that are healthy for the community and not only a country, but to think globally as a universe rather than to think of one's country only. Because whatever decision that you are making is going to affect one person the way or the other. Whether it's trade laws, whether it's immigration laws, whether it's import or export, or natural resources laws, or humanitarian aid, all of these play ricochet. It's like what's it called? It's like Brownian motion in physics. You set one thing ablaze and it moves and it begins to kick the others, and then action begins to take place. If you look at, for example, the immigration laws, if each country provides the resources for its citizens, if you really look at it, a lot of people wouldn't leave their home country. A lot of people tend to want to drain, right? Because they believe they are going somewhere that has better opportunities for them. It's not like they have anything against their country. They only want somewhere that they have a better opportunity to succeed. And so if those ideologies are implemented in the home country for success for each citizen, then everybody will stay in their place. Everybody will stay at home. So yeah. What else do I have to add? I think we should still continue to pray. The prayer for peace is very important. Something that we should be doing individually, whatever that feels like to you. Because again, I said it in my last video, you'll be surprised how much impact your voice is to life. Because you are God's child, you are God's children. So even us praying for that makes a big difference. So yeah, I hope this video, by the time I watch it, when I'm going to edit it, not much I'm going to edit anyway, that I'll be able to, my vision will be clear enough. And one of the things that I want to touch on last about this balance of the body, or balance of the system, balance of the mind, the body, and the spirit. The way that I want to do as a tech guy and as a creative guy, an artistic guy, there are ways that I would love to make these videos more engaging, more entertaining. But because there's low energy into that aspect of that, using 3D, using AI, using that, that has caused so much delay in how much of this I'm doing, that I question myself and I ask, what is more important, the message or the way you deliver the message? Regardless of all the fancy lights and all the bright lights and all the explosions and all the text, and to keep people's attention span into the details of the information that I'm sharing, I should trust in the divine and let him be the one to handle that aspect. And when I'm able to do all the lights, camera, action for the videos, I'll do it. And that's how I'm able to get motivated to shoot the videos, to just shoot it regularly. And when the time comes, when there's more balance in the system, I'll do it the other way that I prefer. So if you're out there too, that you want to do things and you're holding back on how to do them, when not, just do them regardless. Just do them, whichever way is best, and leave all those other noise. Just do it naturally. So yeah, thank you for watching, and like, share, subscribe, and continue to pray for peace. Pray for me, have me in your mind, as we're trying very hard to push this narrative of freedom and peace in the world. Thank you for watching.